Hi guys, welcome back once again. So in today's video, we will be talking about J Logistics. So we'll continue with the logistics space again. So if you remember in the Q2FY25, we've covered now we've covered Tiger, AVJ, and Premier Road Lines. This is the fourth company we'll be covering. Okay, so let us understand the business model, the different kind of parameters that are there, and just like how we did with Premier Road Lines, as we understand each and every parameter, we will see with each and everything with the other companies that are there, what is the differences or similarities. So with every parameter we can do P2P analysis. While we're learning a business model, we'll also do the revision of other models, and in the same way every parameter का P2P analysis भी हो जाएगा. ठीक है. So first let us understand कि like what does SJ Logistics do, what is this company like and everything. Okay, so SJ Logistics, just like the name itself tells, they are a logistic company, and here if you look, they're involved in transporting your goods and from in different countries such as South America, different continents also, South America, Europe, Gulf countries, Southeast Asian, all of these ranges. Now first you need to ask yourself is like what kind of logistic company they are. Like, are they a B2B or a B2C company? If you look at them, SJ Logistics is a B2B company, okay, compared to the other that are there. Even it is a similar, okay, because all the three that we've seen is also B2B company. The second thing you need to ask is like, are they asset light, or do they have their own vehicles, or are they leasing it out? So this is also mostly an asset light model, just like we have in the other three, okay, other three businesses. The third one that we need to ask is what kind of transportation that they have, right? Are they only ocean freight, air freight, or multimodal? So if you look at SJ Logistic is a multimodal transportation, similar to what Tiger Logistic was. If you remember, Tiger Logistics ka 96% revenue comes from multimodal. Similarly, even SJ Logistics also, they are a multimodal transportation, and even here if you look at them, they are more into ocean freight ways than any other transportation. Okay. Again, now coming purely into SJ Logistics, let us talk. They like I told you, they provide your entire value chain. Now, if you look at Tiger Logistics, they are a pure logistic company. AVG Logistics be pure logistic company tha. Premier Road Lines right now, they acquired their wholly owned subsidiary PRL Supply Chain Solution, and they're trying to get into the Pura supply chain. SJ Logistic is already in this space. They are not just a logistic company, but they're also supply chain company, right? They take care of the entire value chain. Again, we have covered what is the difference between this logistic and supply chain in the Premier Road Lines ka video. We have done that, okay? So over here, if you look at them, like I told you, air freight provide karta hai, ocean freight ways provide karta hai. Then they also provide, what else? They also provide aapka inland roadways, which is aapka road transportation, from one point to another point, right? Door delivery also they provide, end-to-end cargo between warehousing, transportation, delivery, everything. Basically end-to-end cargo ka matlab, let's say if I am a company getting everything done, let's say if I have a good from, let's say from Karnataka to Hyderabad, getting everything from my go down to the other person's go down, whatever is involved in it, pura ka end-to-end they take care of it, okay? And other than that, what they also get involved is in custom clearance. Basically, let's say if my goods is going from here to, let's say, Dubai, वहाँ पे दुबई में जाके providing the necessary documentation, talking to the agents, and making sure that all my goods get transported to my customer, to to the delivery, wherever the location is, they do this. Okay? So overall everything, even in fact these people are getting into warehouse. If you look at, they have started, they have commenced, I think they have proposed for a commencement of a warehouse in Bhiwandi, which is around 39,810 square feet. Now here is the thing, I do not know if this warehouse has already been commenced or not, okay? Because what I'm talking about SJ Logistics is an amalgamation of a lot of documents, from annual reports, investor PPT. They've also had a private call with analyst. I believe it is Tiger Conclave, I'm not sure, I forgot the name. That was one company, that got all the analysts together and the company together, so the management can come and talk to different analysts, and the analyst can ask the questions, right? So it's an amalgamation of all of these things. So, and like I told, this is a very chotu company, like less than 1,000 crore market cap. So as a result, they don't do any con call or anything. So I do not know if this warehouse which was proposed, to put up this facility, I do not know if this has already been commenced or not, okay? So if you all have any information, do let me know, okay? Now this is one. Now let us talk about, what are the different kind of services that they provide. Like for example, how we had in Premier Road Lines, now they were doing different kinds of services such as project, overweight, etc. Here if you look at them, they have two different kinds of services, two most important different kinds of services, okay? Now if you look, first one is project cargo, okay? Project cargo ka matlab kya hai? similar to what we did in Premier Road Line. So project cargo का मतलब क्या है? Let's say if I am Anup Engineering, right, and I have to get my goods transported. Let's say I have a big heat exchanger over here. Okay, I have to get it transported. Okay, or it could be, let's say I need my goods getting, I need my goods from my supplier. Okay, now Anup Engineering heat exchanger बनाते हैं. Probably aluminum is their best. They need that metal. So getting this aluminium या कुछ tower हो सकता है, कुछ crane हो सकता है. So their supplier is somewhere in South Africa. ठीक है? These people, what they will do, they will get the contact details from Anup Engineering का supplier, whoever it is. Okay, basically they will contact them, they will talk to them, they will prepare a full plan कि like कब कौन सा कितना metric tons has to be shipped. Okay, they will create a logistic plan, they will get that from their plant into South Africa का port. They will talk to the custom clears, everything, all the wo jo documentation work is there, they will get it done. They will put it in a ship, get it transported to Gujarat, which is Anup Engineering ka plant. From there, again, once it lands in India ka port, get again the customs cleared from Indian agents, get everything done, and finally reach Anup Engineering ka plant in Gujarat. ठीक है? So this entire thing basically एक project का होता है ना, for a period of time. This basically, they do the entire turnkey solutions for these kind of companies. Now over here in project solutions or project cargo, you mostly deal with all these big cargo items that are there. Okay, like could be tower, could be crane, transmission, earth moving equipment, basically a big cargo where you need to send it in one piece, all of these things. Then we have ocean freight forwarding. Okay, ocean freight forwarding ka in simple sa language, if I have to tell, basically sending everything in the ship. Okay, ocean may, in ocean you have to send. Okay, now here also these people take care of your entire value chain, sending something in the ocean from one place to other place. And one of the advantages that they have is, since they've been in this business for more than 2 decades now, I think for a very long period of time they've been in the business, they have a very good relationship with carriers. Carriers are nothing but the ships that takes your goods from one place to another, and as a result, it becomes easier. Okay, now you understood the business model. Now यहाँ पे एक बड़ा difference आता है, which is actually the reason why these people enjoy higher margins. If you look at SJ Logistics का PAT margin is around 9 to 10%, whereas we saw in Tiger Logistics PAT margins कितना था, 4 to 5%. Similarly with AVG Logistics, 4 to 5%, 5% kind of PAT margin. Similarly with Premier Road Lines also. What is the reason that these people literally have double the PAT margin compared to any other players? Like, there must be something, right? Now, the most important thing यहाँ पे is they have tons of license. I was going to tell shit ton, but okay, tons of license and accreditations. Like I told you, with any logistics company, it's such a hassle, it's such a tedious industry, because you have to involve a lot of middlemen, right? Remember in Tiger Logistics they got this IATA ka license, right? Now what was this? Similarly, even SJ Logistics, by the way, they got IATA ka license too over here. Now basically what happens is, see, in any logistic kind of company, right, when you transport the goods, especially if it is from one place, one country to another, to operate, let's say if you have to send from India to Sri Lanka, to operate in that ocean way, to operate in that Indian Ocean, you have to get a license. To be able to send, to be able to go to that port, to land in that port, you need a license, right? Many licenses that are there. Okay, now it is not easy to get these licenses. So what will happen is, usually what happens is, most of these companies, they will partner with another agent who has this license, and they have to pay a part of that commission to them. Now if you have your own license, you don't have to pay any commissions. Now as a result, आपका margins भी higher होता है. Now that is exactly happened in Tiger Logistics. Tiger Logistics का क्या था? They didn't have that IATA का license, right? Earlier no IATA license was there when they were doing air freight. So basically what happened, if they had to transport some goods through airways, through the plane, then they had to contact this agent. That agent will select the airline, find the airline and everything. Basically, again, even SJ Logistics got this IATA ka license. IATA is nothing but International Air Transport Association, right? I've covered in detail in Tiger Logistics. I'll just give a brief over here, okay? So just like how we have DGCA in India for civil aviation, okay, to regulate the rules, IATA is that regulating body for airways for throughout the world. Now whoever is operating in this airways, you could be a passenger, you could be a pilot, you could be an air hostess, you could be an airline company, you could be a cargo company. Whoever is involved in this airline business, for them the rules is set by IATA. Okay, they are the big daddy of the organization. Okay. Now what happens once you have the IATA license, it becomes easier for you to operate, which means what, you can only decide which airlines, you can directly contact the airlines, get in touch with them, basically entire thing over here. Otherwise what will happen, you will have to go through an agent who has this IATA license and he will do it for you, right? So यहाँ पे क्या होते हैं, middlemen आते हैं, आपका margins खा लेते हैं, especially यहाँ पे जब इतना बड़ा इतना tedious industry है यहाँ पे, right? So the same thing over here also. So now they've got this IATA license which will help them, with volumes can go up, right? And as a result even margins will be better, right? Not just this, if you look at them, I'll give you some names. यहाँ पे if you look, they have different types of accreditations, ठीक है? Like I told you, these people are more into ocean ways, right? मतलब waterways का transportation, and they are into a lot of these different continents. So even member of African Logistics Network, they are a member of that. They have this International Federation of Freight Forwarders Association, Federal Maritime Commission. So different certification and accreditations है. So it makes it easier for them to operate their entire operations. So that is why you see यहाँ पे PAT margins are so high compared to the other companies. Literally 2x है PAT margins compared to any other companies. Okay, so this is one special thing, one thing that puts, I would say, SJ Logistics on top, or one advantage that they have compared to any other companies that are there. Okay, now we've covered that part also. Okay, the other thing I'll tell you, there is another difference, the second difference, which there is not there with any other companies that is doing ocean freight-ways, is these people also have, they have this NVOCC, cargo handling services. Okay, now what is this NVOCC? NVOCC का मतलब है non-vessel operating common carrier. Okay, now again, I know this is going to get a bit complicated, a bit technical, but I will try my best to make it as easy as possible, as understanding as possible for you guys. Okay, so just concentrate over here, just 2 minutes it will take for you to understand. Okay, just listen to this. Now I am a company, I need to transport all my goods, right? I will give SJ Logistics the contract. Now SJ Logistics is responsible. Okay, now let's think about all the members that are there in this, to get my goods transported. Okay, one is SJ Logistics that collects all my goods. Then there comes, once it reaches the port, once it reaches a port, वहाँ पे इतना सारा custom clearance, that and this, all of those people are there, right? After that, I have to put it in the ship, and then it reaches the port, unka port, and there you have to do the same process over here. Now whenever I have to send something in the ship, we will call the ship as carrier. Okay, it is not like अरे I have this one ship, अरे इसमें भेजो, it's not like एक बस चल रहा है यहाँ से यहाँ पे and I send it in the bus के like मेरा goods डाल दिया. No, now this ship में there are different spaces. Now this ship का space is owned by another company, and these people who own the spaces in the ship are called as NVOCC. Okay, now understand this, there are two main differences. One is there is this NVOCC guy, and then there is called ocean freight guy. Ocean freight guy are those companies that are responsible for basically sending your goods in ships. That is it. Their responsibility to send it is to send from point A to point B through ship. That is it. Okay, NVOCC is a guy who has this, basically these ships, the carriers that are there. These carriers will not directly talk to the people who are sending them in the ship. Basically, let's say I have a ship owner. Okay, let's say let's give it some name, man. Okay, let's say X. Okay, X owns a ship. Okay, and this X owner will not talk to SJ Logistics guy who has to transport his goods in this X ship. He will not get in touch with you. There is a middleman called NVOCC guy. Okay, X, and this is SJ Logistics. That NVOCC guy, my head is NVOCC guy, okay? But NVOCC guy will rent out this X carrier ka spaces. Now SJ Logistics will have to come, again, let's say if they have goods, they have 100 metric tons of goods to be transported. First they have to come to NVOCC and they have to tell them ki like, bhai mujhe 100 metric tons ka mujhe space chahiye, tum de do. NVOCC then, will give what, like I told, these people own the space in this section, then these people will give them the space, you have to pay them a part of percentage goods. Did you get this point? I hope this is clear. Now can you understand one thing? Every ocean freight, like every NVOCC guy, okay, every NVOCC jiske paas ye space hai in the ship, he is an ocean freight guy, okay, because he already has a space, so he can go and get any logistics transported from one place to another. But every ocean freight guy is not a NVOCC guy, right? Because again, you can be someone who's transporting the goods, but you might not have the space in the ship, right? So now I hope you understand. Now this is what these people क्या बोलते हैं, this is where SJ Logistics differs. They also take care of this non vessel operating क्या है, non vessel operating common carrier. Okay, they also have this agency. Okay, basically NVOCC का भी उनका एक agency है, due to which they can do this entire work for if you have to transport something to Middle Eastern countries या Gulf countries, right? So basically again यहाँ पे क्या है, yeah, in fact over here they have an agreement with this company called as Good Voyage Shipping. Okay, and recently there is another agreement they signed with another NVOCC guy called as Q2FY Logistics Private Limited for 65 crore for a period of 5 years. Now I hope now you understand how tedious this entire sector is, how tedious this entire operation is, right? Basically first you have to collect your goods, then after that there is one more guy over here, which is who custom clearance and all these different government authorities, right, from whom you have to get your customs cleared, bill lena chahiye and everything. This is the second guy. The third guy is what? You need the space in the ship to transport your goods. After you do that, again fourth, again once you land in your customer's port, वहाँ पे एक और custom clearance है. Again to transport your goods from one place to another, to be able to do that you need to have various licenses also. Now you understand कि like ये कितना एक बड़ा tedious एक journey होता है. You might think like अरे यार point A से point B तक transport कर लो, easy peasy lime squeezy, right? But I hope you understand. So this is what makes them different, because they have their agencies of this NVOCC का agency है. As a result, because of which again their margins are higher. Because of the same, they don't have to go back and forth talking to this different kind of agency, giving them a percentage of their share in this, right? They have already these agencies, which makes this life easier for them. I hope this is the main part which was I do not know how I would explain this. I hope this is clear. Basically freight forward is the guy who will arrange the entire shipping for you. NVOCC is the guy who has that shipping ka container. He is responsible for that custom clearance and everything. Okay, so they have the entire value chain यहाँ पे, ठीक है? Now took a lot of time, right? So it took 16 minutes for us to just get through the business model. But anyways, so this is the entire business model of SJ Logistics. Now let us come to the Q2FY25 numbers. Again, this is a very small company, so they give you numbers only in September and in the March, basically in Q2 and Q4 ka numbers, okay? So यहाँ पे if you look at them, they have again very stunning set of numbers. If you look at their sales grew by 118% on a year-on-year basis, okay? And if you look at PAT grew by 151% on a year-on-year basis. Okay, now think about this. High growth engine 100% से भी ज़्यादा उन्होंने sales growth किया है. Operating leverage भी है यहाँ पे. Now compared to the other companies, how about other companies? Tiger Logistics grew sale by 300%, but PAT I think grew only by 200%. They missed out on operating leverage. ठीक है. Other than that, we have AVG Logistics. AVG Logistics grew by 17% and PAT grew by 21%. Then we have Premier Road Lines. Premier Road Lines sales grew by kitna? 30. Let me get the exact numbers out. Premier Road Lines grew by Premier Road Lines grew by 17% and PAT grew by 21%. Did I mix up the numbers with this and AVG? No. Oh, sorry. AVG ka sales up by 18, PAT up by 82. So you can see even in terms of numbers, again SJ Logistics leads the race, right? Because SJ ka if you see sales grew by 118%, PAT grew by 152%. Sales and operating leverage both is there. Tiger ka sales growth high tha, 300% kind of sales growth. But having said that, they missed out on operating leverage, right? If you look at Premier Road Lines ka 17% tha and 21% ka aapka PAT tha. And if you look at AVG ka problem kya tha? They revised on the guidance a little bit, right? That is a huge problem for AVG ka logistic. And also you see that the H1 for them wasn't that great. Sales grew by 18%. Okay? So again, even in terms of numbers, SJ leads the race. Okay. Then other than that, if you see, let us talk about margins. Margins also been quite stunning. If you look at the EBITDA margins have increased. Last time it was 12.73, this time it is 14.4. PAT margins also has increased from 9% to 10.4. Why? First of all, they enjoyed higher margins because they have a lot of licenses through which they do not have to go through middlemen. The second is because scale of operations is also coming with the business. Because see, you're happy if you look at all these logistic companies, it is a pure volume game. Okay, because you're a B2B company, you work on an agreement with the pricing, right? So obviously, when there is an exchange loss, when there is an increase in prices in your supply because of supply demand sometimes, right? Demand itna hota hai, but the supplier of containers is not that much. All of these people work in terms of agreement. Okay, so it becomes very difficult for you to get a price increase also. So value growth यहाँ पे उतना कुछ नहीं है, and on top of that there is so many middlemen over here. क्या value growth, कहाँ से value growth आएगा, right? So that is why you see that कि like volume growth is important. जितना volume growth होगा उतना आपका because of this economies of scale आपका margins भी बढ़ेगा, right? Now that is why you see यहाँ पे the margins are also improved, and I would say quite an improvement over here. Okay, so all in all, numbers are also great. Now if I have to look at cash flows are also good. There is nothing problem in terms of balance sheet, clean cash flows. I know a lot of you will make a issue out of here कि like अरे but cash flows is negative, receivable इतना बढ़ गया, payable इतना बढ़ गया. But tell me, think about it. B2B business, logistic, so many middlemen. When sales is growing by 100%, what do you expect for receivables and payables to happen? When it's a logistic company, जिसका working capital can even go up to 6 to 9, the entire receivables can go up to 6 to 9 months, right? What do you expect of the receivables when the sales is growing at 118%? And this is exactly what we're going to be teaching in the workshop. As you know, we're going to be doing a workshop in investment checklist, basically for all these non-financial companies that are there. How to analyze these companies, what exactly should you look for, right? When you look at a company, what are the things that you look for, so that it should go in your brain like tick 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 tick, I will buy this company, right? How do you look at the cash flow statement? What is the connection between cash flows and receivables? What is the connection between cash flows and inventories? How do you look at it? When is receivables increasing a bad thing? When is receivables not increasing? Even if it is increasing, it is not a bad thing. When is inventory increasing a bad thing? All of this we will cover in that workshop. I'm going to put the registration link in the description as well as in the comment section. It will be a pinned comment. Register for the workshop. It is on Jan 11th and Jan 12th. We're going to have a blast. We're going to be covering around 30 different industries. All the companies in these 30 different industries that operate will be covering everything, and it is going to be in an easy peasy language like how I'm talking to you right now. It is going to be in a mix of Hindi and English. We will talk, right? And again, we'll have a lot of fun in learning. If you attended the financial workshop, you would know, right? So we're going to have a lot of blast, excellent workshop it is going to be. So don't miss out, because we only have limited seats of 1,000 seats here, and already we are done with 550 seats. So make sure to register ASAP. Okay, now coming back over here. So all in all, we covered first is the business model. Business model is great. They have a lot of advantages compared to their peers. If you look at the numbers, again in the numbers also, they you see them enjoying a higher margins compared to their peers. The performance in H1 has been quite incredible also to say. Okay, now let us talk about what you can expect for the full year FY25 ka. So these people they had given a guidance like in FY25 they will do 500 crores. In the next year it will be FY26 750, and followed by that the year later it would be 1,000 crore. Okay, so they had given the guidance of this. If you look in FY24 mein unka revenue tha around 270 crore if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 271 crore tha. Okay, so FY24 was 271 crore. FY25 they're targeting 500 crores. That is almost, I wouldn't say almost 100, but that's a good 84 to 85% kind of growth company, right? In 1 year you can expect this 84 to 85% of the growth. Okay, so let us do a small valuation calculation. We are expecting 500 crores in terms of revenue for this year. PAT margin is somewhere between 9 to 10%, so right? So if PAT margin is 9 to 10% and the revenue is going to be 500 crores, your PAT expectation is 45 to 50 crores. So 1 year forward P for 45 to 50 crore is 20 to 22 P. 100% growth engine. I mean 84% hai, but फिर भी 84% का growth engine है. 1 year forward P is 20 to 22, right? PAT that is there. I think FY24 का PAT was 13 crore if I'm not wrong. Okay, FY24 का PAT is 23 crore. Okay, PAT will literally double. Sales is going to grow by 84%. PAT will go from 23 to 45 or 50 crore. That is literally, I think they can do 50. I think 10% ka PAT margin is easily can be done, because already in H1 they have 10.4% kind of PAT margin. H2 is a much better half year compared to H1. So I think they should be able to do 45. So 100% kind of PAT growth, operating leverage mil raha hai. Valuation on top of that is around 20 to 25 20 to 22 PE for a 100% growth engine. You tell me if it is cheap or expensive, right? And obviously there is no problem over here. Itna sara tailwinds hai. You see that the entire logistics space is booming over here. So I would say, overall a great show by SJ Logistics. Okay. Now another thing, remember in Premier Road Lines. Now let us do the peer-to-peer P2P we will do. Remember yesterday I was doing through fingers when we were talking about Premier Road Line. I was like, bhai kuch samajh mein nahi aa raha hai. And anyways, guys, I love you guys so much. Look at the amount of jugaad that I did. Basically what happened was, today right before making the video, I had an epiphany like how do I show the P2P, because I'm not sharing the screen, right? Like I can't look at my fingers and be like arey ye and all of this. And I just found this random, like, wo Instamart ka cover aata hai na. I did the most like jugaad that you can tell. I did that. I used, there was no marker also. Pen mein dal ke 1 2 3 4, so we can rank the companies and we will see who the best and the worst is, similar to remember what we did in that AC ka manufacturing space. Okay, so yeah. Okay, by the way, it's a nice fan also, no? Just kidding. This is like desi jugaad, you do in order to get by your things. Okay, but anyways, we can rank the companies: Tiger, AVG, Premier Road Lines, and SJ Logistics. Okay, now you take a minute before I put it out. You take a minute. We've covered all the 4 models right now. Just take a minute, compare all the points, like tuck 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 tuck, compare all the points in your head and tell me, like, according to you, which one would you rank it 1, which one would you rank it 2, 3, 4. Just take a minute first and then we will continue over here. Okay, now you pause the video because I can't take a minute over here na, video long ban jayega. But anyways, we have four companies. Okay guys, you should really love me back. Okay, I mean, look at the amount of impossible jugaads that I do for one video that is there. Okay, but anyways, okay, first of all, one thing we see that SJ Logistics has a my fingers are much better. This is such a hassle. Okay, anyways, one thing that we see is SJ Logistics has a premium compared to the other the other companies that are there, right? Why? Because they have a lot of these accreditations, their margins are higher as a result of that. Okay, then other than that, we also see, then the second parameter comes up to over here is business model mein thoda unka premiumness hai. The second most important thing comes is the growth factor. Who is growing faster, right? If you look at it, you can tell me Tiger is growing at faster, because Tiger ka literally, I think, we saw that the sales just improved, I think, by what, 3x, 300% ka. I think there was an increase in sales, right? And SJ Logistics ka kya tha? SJ Logistics ka tha 118% kind of sales growth. So you might tell me like Tiger stands first, followed by SJ Logistics. Okay, then we had Premier Road Lines. Premier Road Lines ka kitna tha? Around again 18% kind of sales growth, right? And then we had AVG. Earlier we thought AVG was going to do a 45% kind of growth. Okay, so earlier before this quarter in Q1, AVG was standing at number 3 and Premier Road Lines at number 4, because AVG was a 45% growth engine and Premier Logistics was a 35% ka growth engine. But what happened in Q2? What happened? Now there is a confusion ki like AVG which is in 3rd position, AVG is like, bhai, I don't think I can do 45 because mera wo government ka contract nahi aa raha hai. I think I can probably do 25% ka growth. So AVG goes to kitna? AVG goes from 3rd position, AVG goes to 4th position. And now Premier ka growth kitna hai? 35%, which is more than the AVG. So first of all, Premier comes 3rd and AVG comes 4th. So this is clear why these two rankings are at 3 and 4. Okay. Okay, this is done. Now the competition comes between, so AVG is at 4th, Premier Road Lines at 3. Okay, then the competition comes now over here between number 1 and number 2. That is Tiger Logistics and SJ Logistics. Who do you think will come first? One jiska higher growth rate hai. Okay, growth rate of Tiger Logistics is literally 3x, right? This time we had, and they are also unka, I think they have done in H1 around 250-260 crores of revenue they have done, and they can do 500 crores. They're thinking, because H2 is better than H1, right, for them. Oh, sorry. H2 is better than H1 for them, right? Similarly like SJ Logistics. So they also can do more, right? Having said that, even they can do more. So even if you're expecting 500 to 550, even they're like a good 100% growth engine. SJ Logistics will definitely do 500 crore is what the management has been telling. Even that is like a 84% का growth engine. So you could tell कि like maybe there is a probability that Tiger has a better growth engine compared to SJ Logistics. But can you see over here? But you can tell ultimately दोनों 100% का growth engine है. But now the problem comes over here is in the valuation. Tiger Logistics का valuation कितना था? Remember the valuation calculation that we did in that Tiger Logistics का company. The 1 year forward P for Tiger Logistics ranges between 28.8 and 34. Whereas for SJ Logistics, for the same kind of growth engine, 84 to 100% kind of growth engine, they fall in the category of around 20 to 22 ka P. So here, SJ Logistics becomes a better engine over here because along with growth rate, they are getting at a lower valuation. Okay. So now what happens? SJ Logistics का P का re-rating भी होगा यहाँ से, EPS का भी re-rating होगा. Here, similarly, even here also both P and EPS का re-rating can happen. But can you see here the P re-rating can be faster because for the similar kind of growth rate you are getting, 19-20 का difference है. For the similar kind of growth rate, this is literally at 20 to 22 P, whereas this is at 28 to 35 ka P. So that is why I will put SJ Logistics first, followed by Tiger, followed by Premier Road Lines, followed by आपका AVJ का AVG Logistics, that is it. So I hope this is clear now, like how we did the entire metric. Okay. Another reason, like I also told, I would say, see, the most important thing is business model. Like I told, SJ Logistics has a superior business model compared to that of Tiger Logistics. That is also another reason to put SJ Logistics at the forefront compared to, let's say, Tiger Logistics. So overall great, and I think another good news with SJ Logistics is they have moved from that ESM stage, I think from ESM stage 1 to stage 2, or stage 2 say stage 1. So as a result, now the circuit is also revised. I think it's like one of the most foolish rules put up by SEBI, to be very honest. To be very honest, it's absolutely absurd. जब भी एक numbers अच्छा आता है, तो obviously the stock will go up. Only that time I think SEBI wakes up and puts up this. At the same time, when the numbers go bad and there is a free fall in the stock, that time no circuit. That time retail can lose all the money they want. Like I just find it absolutely absurd rule. And I think if there is some kind of forum you can talk about it. I think we as retail investors really should put up the should put up a should put up a message and tell like SEBI to just reevaluate this different kind of stages. Okay. But having said that, that's that about logistic companies, right? We see with everybody, everybody is, as you can see, is having they're having a lot of tailwinds in the entire sector because of a lot of government reformations and everything. But having said that, you can see in this also there is a cheetah and then there is a chota, there is a tortoise. So out of the 4 companies we saw that cheetah. And why do we tell this is because, see, you always need to be with the fastest growing player, because there can be, see, when a sector is booming really well, when there are a lot of tailwinds in that sector, everybody will make money. It is not that one will make money, and as long as that company is growing, you will make money. But there will always be that one player that will make the fastest money compared to any other players. We saw that in wire and cable space. Wire and cable space, if you see, although Polycab, KEI, RR Cable, everybody grew, but there was a point in the last 2 years where Polycab grew faster than anybody else, and that is why Polycab shareholders made more money compared to other people. Similarly over here also, now everything is going well. All the shareholders in all the companies will make money, but there will be one shareholder who's invested in one of these companies will make more money compared to other. And that comes to one thing: you have to hold the fastest growing player, not just fastest but good in every single thing. Okay. And I think this is a very rare case where you are getting the fastest growing player at a very at a decent valuation compared to the other people, because it's usually you would see the fastest growing player will also enjoy a premium valuation because of the higher growth rate that they have. Re-rating itna jaldi hota hai. But here, I think because of that ESM stage 2 and everything, like there was no option over here, and as a result, the market has the entire the thing has been subdued, right? But having said that, that is the thing. We see another thing, we have to do this exercise every single quarter after every single result. Now obviously SJ Logistics is better looking at H1 and looking at the projections of H2 that we have. Now after H2 ka result that comes, will it be the same? That is another question to ask. But for now, SJ Logistics is first, followed by Tiger, followed by Premier, followed by AVG. Okay, so that's that for today's video. I will have to do another company over here. I think it's called Black Buck. Again, we will do that valuation exercise. Once we do that Black Buck, I'll have to do another thing with number 5. Okay, but that's that, y'all. I'll see you again in another video in another time tomorrow. Okay, that's that. I hope you had fun. Just take care. Bye bye.